There we go. Whoops, I didn't want it to do that.
What's that?
It expands itself to take over your entire screen,
Oh,
which
okay.
is kind of obnoxious that way, but anyway.
Gotcha. Hi, Sam. How's it going today?
Great, Luigi. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Looking forward to our conversation today. Learn a little bit more about you and your business.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with a good introductory question. What are we here to talk about today, and why does story-based branding matter?
Sure. Thanks for asking. Yeah, story-based branding is a little bit of a buzzword right now, and it means different things to different people. It's not just case studies. What it means is coming to your brand messaging with the attitude that your customer is the hero and you are the guide. And this customer is going to go through a journey to achieve what they want to achieve, become who they want to become. This is a switch from the way marketing is often done, where typically we talk about ourselves and what we bring to the table. Choose me, that kind of thing. And this is less effective. If we can actually put the client in the story and have them imagine going through some transformation with the brand, that's really effective. And you see this being used. It's not brand new. You see this being used in some of the biggest brands in the world. But what we bring to it is we have a very structured approach to this, and my staff of copywriters and my account people are trained in how to take this approach and how to create effective brand messaging for brands that want to stand out and be a premium.
So who exactly is this message for?
Mm-hmm. This is for anybody who's in charge of branding for a company that wants to position itself as being a cut above. If you're selling bags of rice, you're selling commodities and you're competing on price. I can't help you. That's a production problem. You got to get your costs down. But if you're, one of our niches is we work with luxury healthcare brands. For example, we do cosmetic dentistry, cosmetic surgery. Unfortunately, these people find themselves competing on price because they're trying to fill their chairs. So you get, $15 off a Botox injection. This basically cheapens your service and your brand and your image in the eyes of the consumer. And it destroys customer loyalty because it trains them to shop for price, basically.
Sure.
It's the old sales versus marketing thing. Sales wants a 50-cent off coupon, and marketing wants, to elevate the brand to cult status. These two things don't go together.
Nope.
So we typically work with companies that are anywhere from $500,000 to several $1 million of gross revenue, and are looking to break through that ceiling that they can't just seem to get past.
Okay. Very good. Describe a little bit more of the type of company that will benefit from this type of marketing message.
So again, service companies or product companies where there's some sort of personal stake involved for the customer. Apple does a really good job of this in selling computers, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But it could be something like that. But it's got a lifestyle component to it, whatever it is. And our luxury healthcare brands, for example, that's a big lifestyle thing. It's all out of pocket. Your insurance isn't going to cover any of that stuff. So you're making a commitment to transform yourself by coming into the practice.
Okay, I see. And so what is the number one issue with market messaging in general?
Well, it's a combination of confusion, first of all. You're not even sure what they're trying to say. Sadly, I see that a lot. I mean, it's good for us as marketers because it gives us something to do.
Sure.
But, there's a lot of noise out there. I would say the biggest problem with messaging focus is that we, as brands, we tend to talk about ourselves instead of talking about the customer.
Gotcha.
And what that does is it leaves the customer with the task of connecting the dots. Okay, this phone has a really fast chip and a A7500 widget, and you press the button and it does something. It leaves the consumer with the job of figuring out, okay, what do I get out of this? Why do I want this thing? They have to imagine their life with the product or service. So I worked for many years with a big hospital corporation. They stopped talking. They have to talk about their equipment and their procedures and all that stuff because you got to do that. But that's not the thrust of their basic marketing message. They talk about the transformation that happens to people who are gravely ill, who come in and now have a good life.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you've got proton therapy or an MRI machine or something that takes 20 pounds off your belly. It doesn't matter. It's about where you go as the person who came in for help and where you wind up. So the biggest problem is that we just don't talk about that. We don't convey those messages. Some brands do, most don't.
So it's really about describing the outcome that you're going to get.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's focusing on the client, the patient, the buyer, and as opposed to focusing on us and who we are.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, if at the end of the day you're saying, so what, then you're really not helping them connect the dots.
Exactly. We have a saying, if you confuse, you lose. So,
Yeah,
if you put all these messages that they don't know what to do with, you're asking them to do a lot of work in figuring out what that means to me. That's a lot of cognitive load. Anybody who works in user experience and user interface design knows what a cognitive load is. You're asking people to do a lot of thinking for you. You should be doing that as the brand, you being the brand, I mean.
Yeah, you have to do it for them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. So if brands get this right, what's the big opportunity? What opens up for them when it comes to customer acquisition?
Right. So they become a desired brand. And instead of having to go out and sort of twist people's arms or go out in the street and wave people, come on in, you don't do that anymore. What you do is you fill your sales pipeline with people that you want to work with, and then you get to pick and choose. It also creates customer loyalty. The famous Mac fan base, these people are rabid about their equipment. And some of that is, they bought into it and they're still talking themselves into the sale. But you get there, you get brand ambassadors. They'll go tell their friends, hey, these guys are great, because they believe in you and they believe in your premium. At that point, price comes off the table. You don't, if you want to buy a Ferrari, you don't go into the Ferrari dealership and say, it's a $400,000 car. Can you do it for $250,000? Because that's all I've got. That doesn't happen. What you do is you go out and you get the money, So if you see a transformation that you can go through that will change your life, save your marriage, so whatever it is, whatever you're working on, that becomes so valuable to you that you will find the money. And at that point, this price competition just goes away, and the other guys just look like shills at that point because they're out there trying to save you $10. You try to sell me an off-brand computer for $20 less, and I'm a Mac fanatic. I'm not even going to listen to you. So now you've got a loyal customer base that really believes in you, and they become part of your sales force actually, and they keep coming back.
So how did you discover this for yourself, and what's your story of building your own brand?
So I was working in marketing, working for other people for a long time. I freelanced in New York during the digital publishing changeover in the early 90s, but then I worked on staff for two big agencies. And we were working for national brands, consumer packaged goods, beverages, alcohol. And I don't want to name them. I've got some NDAs still in place for some of this stuff.
Sure.
But, what I learned was how they market. And in many cases, they don't market based on what the product actually is. They market based on the lifestyle that the consumer wants to achieve. And this is true across many, many different brands. You don't want to look at what's in your cereal. You want to look at the illustration on the front because your kid loves the little cartoon figure. This is a little cynical in the case of some of these brands because some of this stuff isn't really that good for you. But the essential approach is it's psychological. It's kind of a psychological materialism. You sort of want to be that person. You want to have fun. You want to be cool. All that kind of stuff. And that's what the marketing is based on. So in 2008, when the wheels came off the advertising economy, I went out on my own. And I had some good relationships with some people based on some software platforms that I was working on. But I also hung out my shingle as a web developer, and I was in there competing with people from countries where there's cost of living is nearly zero, and
Right.
I just
Right.
make it on that basis. I saw people competing on price. So what I did was I elevated my pitch. I stopped talking about technology.
Yep.
I started talking about what I can do to help you build your business. I can create an effective site that's easy for you to use. You can keep it up to date really easily. I know a lot about your business, and I would do deep customer interviews to find out what their
Right.
problems were.
Very good.
Then, moving into marketing for larger organizations, still as a self-employed, but I built a team around marketing for some very large healthcare organizations, including one that I had a 7-year relationship with.
Mm.
And we were very effective using this kind of an approach. Again, I mentioned that healthcare organizations, big hospitals, they don't talk about, how we're going to find the tumor in your gut. They talk about what
Right.
you're be when we get done with you. You're going to be healthy.
Yeah.
You're going to be happy. You're going to play with your grandkids.
Yeah.
So we worked together on developing a lot of this. I went through a major
Yeah.
transformation with one hospital brand, and I just saw how effective this stuff is. And I
Yeah.
want to bring that to smaller companies. The big
Okay.
corporations, they can hire, the $400 an hour agencies. They can spend, $20 million a year on their marketing. I want to work with people that can't do that, people who are trying to break through.
Okay.
Partly because I'm kind of done with the enterprise, but also because I think there are a lot of people out there who have goods and services that deserve to come to market.
Okay. So just give me one example of a before and after, like before you showed up, however they measured their success versus after how you measured the success of
Sure.
your effort.
Okay, so the first, the first tip I would give would be first of all to focus on your customer instead of yourself.
Right.
And I worked with a nonprofit research organization actually that they tended to talk about their research, which is great because everybody needs that. But what we did for them was that we built a search and discovery engine that allows them to get into all their research papers. And we did some user testing against the researcher community, and we figured out that they couldn't find anything. They had a lot of trouble using the database. And because we fixed that, we looked at their needs, and then we promoted it in terms of, look, you've been struggling, you're looking at collections all over the world. We've got this all together in one place. You can get your stuff written in half the time. We made that message, we sold that story, and then the donations started coming in. Interestingly, because people saw the citations and where the researchers were getting their information from, and they said, hey, these guys, they really have a good collection here. We should support this. So shifting your attention to the needs of your customers for real, everybody says that, but it's often we built this and let's go out and see if we can sell it, instead of we found this need in the marketplace and then we built something to meet that need. So
That's a real shift. That's a real shift.
Yeah, that's a real shift. If you look at if we could just move on to a second idea, which is talking about the transformation that the customer can go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is huge, and then there's some huge brands that embody this. So take Nike, for example. Nike doesn't want to talk about what's in the shoe. Maybe there's a little bit about that, but they're showing sports figures using the shoe, and they're showing ordinary people or competitors who may not be at that level yet using the shoes. And it says, just do it. That's their tagline. So it puts the athlete in the driver's seat. It makes it about them. So Nike is just empowering them to do what they're trying to do. It's not, hey, Nike's great. It's you're great.
Right.
And we're going to get you there.
Right.
Home Depot does the same thing. Their slogan, you can do it, we can help.
Yeah.
It makes the customer the hero. You're trying to build something. You're trying to fix something. You're trying, whatever it is. We're your guide. We're your support. We're your Gandalf. We're your Yoda. We're your Dumbledore. You are the Harry Potter or the Frodo or the right. And that's been amazingly effective for them. You go into a Home Depot and you expect somebody to help you, give you some advice on what you're doing, but they don't act all like know-it-all or anything like that. It's all about the consumer as the hero.
It's yeah, just as a little off the beat here, but as you observe the market and or companies, is there somebody that stands out that's still missing the mark? You know, in the
Well,
public eye
yeah, I don't
here.
want to point fingers at anybody, but we see this a lot. I even see it in other agencies. We do a lot of competitive analysis for ourselves as well as for our customers. I'm
Yeah.
working with a recording studio right now, for example,
Ah, okay.
and we're talking about, what's the transformation that the musician or the producer or the label goes through when they come in here.
Mm,
Some of these people are a little jaded because they've been around a lot, and the music business is a knock and tone.
right.
It's not easy. Um,
Yeah.
so it's hard to appeal to their sense of hopefulness, but you have to kind of keep that alive. Um,
Right.
Many of the competition talk about they've got this kind of deck and that kind of microphone. Couldn't care less. Okay, honestly, I mean, you got to have that stuff, but really, come on. Is
Hmm.
that going to make a better record? I don't know. Do you talk about the engineers? Do you talk about what talent they have? That's not in there. So what we're trying to do with this brand, and we're kind of in beginning stages with them, but what we're trying to do is get them to talk about what happens to the musician. We're even looking at pitching amateur musicians who've had something bottled up for 40 years and they've been distracted by family and job. And, they can
Yeah.
come in here and they can make a professional demo. But it is the case that good sound quality is judged in the first 10 seconds of a recording. And if you're fighting for streaming space with everybody else that doesn't sound so good, that's an important thing to pay attention to. So, in a practical sense, we can help you get streamed better. But
So
again,
there's
it's all about
so
what
there's
you're
still
going to come out the door with at the end.
yeah. So there's still people stuck in the old model,
Oh
right?
yeah, many, many. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, it's a tendency you don't know that much about your customer and you don't know how to talk about their dreams because you're not a marketer, you know. So if you're a studio engineer in this case, or studio owner, you're going to talk about what you pay attention to, which is all that expensive stuff you bought. It's
Sure.
difficult to even talk about the expertise of your engineers because that's an intangible. It's recognized in awards and stuff like that, but it's hard to tell that story. But what we're trying to do is tell the story of people who have come in here and have left with better quality recording than they ever thought they could get. Everybody's trying to do this in their kitchen, buying stuff off of Sweetwater. The sound is terrible. You're going to walk out with something that sounds great. And that's the important story. It's going to transform you from somebody who's not quite sure if they got it together to somebody who's got really a gold standard of a demo or,
Yeah. Yeah.
professional recording.
So
So
Sam, this
yeah, you
this
see a
this
lot of this missing the point,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems so obvious in some ways, Sam. How is it that people that aren't getting this?
Well, again, this isn't rocket science, okay? But we have a very, very specific approach that we follow, and it's based on a combination of hero's journey and Hollywood script writing
Right.
principles and things. I've been trained in this by people who know what
Yeah.
they're doing, and my staff has been trained. We're certified in a particular approach.
Okay.
Um, if you're not a marketer, you may miss a lot. You're not thinking. You're sort of making some assumptions about what needs to be on your website, for example, uh,
Mm,
or what needs to be in your advertising,
mm-hmm.
and we see a lot of that. Um, it's just they're looking in the wrong direction. That's all it is. I mean, you don't have to be a genius, but you have to be looking in the right direction. You have to be thinking in terms of your customer as opposed to what you've built and that you're trying to sell.
So is it a matter of kind of living out of the old paradigm, the 5 Ps or something? I mean, like,
Yeah, yeah, it's partly that. The fuller brush man coming to the door and touting, or the vacuum cleaner guy who pours ashes on your floor and then sucks them up with the vacuum. It's old school sales things.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think it's just lack of guidance, and that's really what we're here for. This is what
Mm-hmm.
we focus on, and then we execute on all of this. Once you get the messaging right, then the tactics, whether it's social or paid ads or what have you,
Right.
SEO, content creation, all the rest of it just falls into place because you've got your messaging together and it's really well focused, and then all the other stuff it almost writes itself.
Yeah. And what do you call this kind of marketing again?
It's story-based brand messaging.
Story-based brand message. Very nice.
Yep.
Good. This is powerful. How can your audience go deeper with you and get access to building their own brand messaging?
Sure. Well, we have a number of levels of service that we have. We are actually developing some content for YouTube. It's not ready to go yet. You could do some on-demand courseware on it to learn how to do this yourself. My experience is that you teach people how to do it themselves, and then they don't, because they're busy running their business.
Right.
But we have done for you programs, and we have done with you programs that we can bring people into. At a couple of different levels. So, we'll,
Okay.
depending on what platform this is going out on, we'll put some links in here so you can get in touch with us. I'll put a call link to my sales lead, her Calendly set up.
Okay.
Just reach out. We'll talk, and if it's not a good
Yeah.
fit, we'll say so, because we don't want to work
Sure.
with people that we can't help.
Right. Right. Very good. Anything else that you'd like your audience to know before we call it?
I think I'd like everybody to remember that their products and services have value.
Mm-hmm.
And that if we can communicate that value to the right people, we can grow your business and make it thrive. If we can't do that, you'll be stuck where you are.
Mm,
So there are
very
two
good.
choices.
Yeah, and you've got the track record, the approach, the success to show other folks that you can do it, right?
Yep. I believe we can help a lot of different people.
Awesome. Sam, it's been great getting to know you and your approach, and just makes a lot of sense. I mean, let's focus on what the customer is going to get and help them understand that. And they don't really care how you do it, right?
That's true. Yeah.
As long as they get what they're looking for.
Yep. Yep. Good. All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks, Luigi. I appreciate it. And
All right.
we'll talk again soon. Okay.
All right.
Good.
Take
Thank
care.
you,
I'm
sir.
gonna hit.
Have a good
I'm gonna hit.
afternoon. Get home safe.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
All right.
gonna hit the pause.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop recording. Hang on.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Stop recording. I'll get an